What is up, y'all? It is oh wait, no.
What?
Yeah, it's my other name. What is up, y'all? It is Comfy, and I want to welcome you all to another video of Minecraft Skyblock. But the whole point is not the commentary or gameplay that you're gonna be seeing, because this is totally pre-recorded and totally not live action one take. Actually, it's one action live take because I'm quite lazy and I just prefer to edit my mistakes out, which I don't typically do if you've ever watched my channel, because everything is just mediocre and not entertaining. Well, actually, I would like to consider myself entertaining. Would you consider me entertaining? Another thing I want to talk about is... Oh, no, okay, I'm going to start off. Also, 70% of my viewers are not subscribed. Literally, I don't know how you guys watch my videos without being subscribed, because I think you need to be subscribed for a notification. You know what? Who cares? Just hit the subscribe button. That's all that matters, because I like money. Anyways, let's get started into the story. Alright, so the story how we kind of lost $1,000, or threw it away, or got rid of it entirely, made so it's pretty much gone and you'll never see it again, starts off quite simple. In 2017, me and an old lad that goes by the name of Starbucks Frap, which is his Minecraft username, we were really into playing Minecraft, especially me, because I'm a Minecraft addict, as you guys know. I'm be smoking on that Minecraft all day and night. Okay, that joke is definitely not going in there. And okay, and we were just playing Minecraft, and we found that it was relatively easy to make a server because anyone can do it. You just gotta have a little bit of cha-chang. So let's try it out. Maybe we could do a really good job. So we went out of our way and bought a server. So we started off quite small, quite cheap, quite in the relatively easy to get, not very expensive department, because we are just young broke children, which we still happen to be. So that's something that never changes. And so we opened the server. I don't remember the dates really exactly. I know it was June or July. We just purchased a domain. If you guys don't know, a domain is like a .com thing, I guess we would call it. My commentaries are very mediocre, so I shouldn't have to explain this very much. A lot of things you should start Googling, because my content is great. I like how I keep dissing my content every 5 seconds I can. So, in a sense, what we were just we just bought this. We bought one server. It's paid per gigabyte of space, I guess. So we would pay for 1 gigabyte. So I think we're paying for 3. So it's $3 a month. So quite cheap. We weren't pretty much trying to go all out, and we had no one to develop stuff for us. So we went out of our way. We took the liability of stealing plugins or stealing files to make our server run. Not really stealing, but they were out to the public and they were extremely easy to get, that anyone can get their hands on. Because I got my hands on it, so how hard could it be? Anyways, we just put these files in. We didn't expect them to work, and that server, we released it. A lot of errors. The server didn't go as well as we'd hoped, and because we never give up, because we're the big brain people we are, we decided we'll try it again. And this time we probably tried a little too hard. And what we did was we'd purchased this sort of big database thing. Not expensive. It was around, I guess it depends what you call expensive. It was around, I want to say $30 a month. And we'd pretty much just have multiple servers on it. So we could run a connection between all servers, so you could be on one but without lagging the server, I guess, so you wouldn't be lagging everyone online. It was a whole thing. And from that point on, we just kind of started working off of that. When we started to pay people to make stuff for us, like plugins, make differences, make changes, and it started to add up quite quickly. I'd say before the time we released, we probably got up to around a few hundred, maybe around 200 to 300, and just paying people to make things and paying people to change stuff, because we again had no clue what we were doing. Things have changed now. We were the most clueless human beings on the planet. We were just we'll just pay everyone else to do the work for us. And that's what we did, and it worked relatively well. A lot of things didn't really work, but that's not the point. And pretty much now we come to the point where we think, okay, well, the server is going to be a huge success because we put all this money into it, right? Well, the next idea is to get our name out there. So we release the server and we pay a few YouTubers. YouTubers with like a few thousand subscribers all the way to like, well, from my level, I guess, to people like with a few hundred, like 20,000 subscribers maybe. We didn't have a lot of money. We didn't want to drop a lot. And people spend a lot of money on YouTubers, so they're quite spoiled people. Anyways, we had pretty much gotten into paying these guys. We've contacted them. We've got their messages. We sent their PayPals over to upload a trailer. A trailer is kind of like, you know, like a minute clip where it just showcases the server. It gets people to see it, advertises. You can boast about all your things and stuff like that, just to advertise and make yourself sound and look better. You know, that's what pretty much the whole point is. So we had gotten that out on I want to say it was like it was a Thursday, and we were releasing that Saturday. So at that point, we pretty much got our server out there, and people knew the name, and then we had to pay people for streaming. I'm going to say advertisement took a good amount. I'd say it was probably around $200 to pay people for trailers. And keep in mind, I'm very broke, and this is not my money going into it. We had an investor do this. So I'm not the real loser. I'm like the secondary loser because I lost a lot of heart and my ego got crushed in that. Anyways, pretty much it comes to streamers. So again, like I said, we are completely clueless when it comes to server owning and what to do. So we pretty much just talk to YouTubers. We message them. We try to get in contact with them. And then, well, to make sure that we didn't want anyone to steal them from us on that said date we were going to release, we'd pay them extremely high amounts of money. The exact amount of money lost into the server was around 1,300, but I'm just going to abbreviate to 1,000, obviously, because for shorter details. And we just didn't want we didn't want a chance of them leaving us, like to go play a different server. Like, for example, they get offered more money to go play another server. So what we did was offer YouTubers around 2,000 subscribers we pay them around $100 to $150 just to stream, and an average amount. Most people were charging like $20 for like an hour-long stream. We were paying them like $150 for an hour-long stream to make sure they wouldn't leave us. If that doesn't sound like a gold digger, I don't know what is. Apart from that, we just lost a lot of money, and we just continued wasting it. Because, you know, why not? It's our money. It's our server. We could just throw away all the money we want. And, you know, even be like, well, surely your server made money in donations. Because people like to donate. Well, not the case. We had our donations up, I would say. We had a Buycraft. If you know what that is, you know what that is. I'm not going to try to explain it. Other than that, it's a service where you can purchase stuff from Minecraft. And we had that available for people. The problem is no one gave us money with it. We also had it made. It also didn't work. So that could play a part in why people didn't want to give us money. And to further that, well, our server pretty much ended up getting out of the place where we were just throwing away more and more money to the point where we couldn't afford to keep it up anymore. So we beg our friends to give us they give us around $30, not each, of course. We could like to gather around the corner, sing a campfire song, and then pull this like, hey, can you give me like $5 on them, you know? And that's pretty much how we got our money to continue it up for like a month or two more. And came along this big investor guy. So this guy wanted to put more money into our server. But you know, we were like, oh yes, that's great. And pretty much us not being as bright as we should have been, we just automatically trusted the guy with literally no like background information or like vouchers or anything. We pretty much just let the guy have everything, and he took access into our back end because, you know, we're all owners, so we figured, you know what, let's let everyone have equal access. The guy got the information, and we go into a point where we need to pay for the hosting again because the hosting is starting to run out and we need to pay someone. Well, our quote-unquote investor that we had didn't want to pay it. And I was like, well, we were like, this is insane. This is the only thing you would have ever put into the server and you don't want to pay for it. We ended up firing him or getting rid of him because he didn't want to put a dime into the server, obviously, because what's an investor that won't put money into it? And this guy had already had our information stored and pretty much just made it so where we could never release again unless we purchased a new hosting, which we didn't even have money for at the time. So literally there was absolutely nothing we could do. As an example, every time we would ban his account in-game because he would do these things to us, he would just go ahead and go into the console and force it to unban himself. So he would just continue ruining our server, making it impossible for players to play, stopping the servers when we did releases. Like if we wanted to get like some players on to test something, well, as soon as we start the test, well, he just pop in a stop command to our console, and it would just pretty much stop. So we had nothing to like combat him. We tried contacting our hosting. They would offer no new like replacements unless we paid for a new one. So there was pretty much nothing we could do at that point. Now you might be asking, where's the interesting part of the story? It's coming. It's just already happened. That doesn't make sense. There's more to the story, and I'm going to explain how I was able to kind of get back at the guy who did this to us. I mean, he made it to where we couldn't try to continue going on. This already cuts in. We already lost our money at this point. If you're still listening to hear how I lost the money, you've already heard it at this point. And now this part goes into how I was able to somewhat get back at him, I guess. The user pretty much just destroyed our server, made it impossible to play. That's cool. Now this is quite petty, I guess, what I did. But a couple years go by, around 5 months ago, this guy's talking to another person about a partnership, or not a partnership, an investment. I was putting money into a server that was, and I pretty much found it. I pretty much was like, what? That's not okay. He can't just continue lying, because at this point he already built up a reputation with a lot of other people that he was going to do the same thing. And then try to use someone else to give him money, pretty much. Just, what is that? Achievement loss. Fairy soul. Okay, I don't know what that is, but back to the commentary. He pretty much just killed us off, made it so where he couldn't do anything. So I was like, you know, I mean, if you're going to do all this mean stuff to us, I guess I could just make you lose your partnership. And I made him lose a little more than just a partnership. Or not a partnership, an investment. He actually had put in money into the server. I did not know that. And I had contacted the owner of that said server that he was investing into. And I just showed him all this proof, because I have proof gathered up, because I'm a petty person and I like to get my revenge. So don't mess with me. Otherwise, you're going to have to deal with that said revenge. I'm just kidding. I actually normally delete stuff. It was just quite random. I had it on my hand. Or like at least on my computer. I showed it to the guy, and the guy pretty much just took him off the ownership team. He barely had any access. And he lost around like $50 he'd actually put into that actual server. He called him out for scamming, but in the end, if you're going to scam someone else and I can totally mess up your career, I'm going to do it. I'm really going to do it. Yeah, no, I'm actually not going to do it, because I probably will never have the opportunity to do that again. You know, I feel like I'd be an excellent business employee. I could easily ruin someone's day. That sounds like a job I'm going to take up. Alright, now that I've read the story, told the story, and you guys are no longer interested in the title, I'm just going to go to my hub island. I'm going to, what is something I have that's really good that I'm going to risk losing?